think the bigger point here, though, is why does this, as our council made it clear, is why is the district trying to push back on that? Why aren't they trying to push us to make sure that we are registered? Because we're not looking to not register. We also made clear we think that drivers should be individually registered.
Stay. We could continue operating. They stayed the court date until January.
Right, that legislation would make it so that you all can individually register with the district, just like people do in New York. Everyone in New York has to register with the Tax Energy Commission.
Yep.
The exact same thing. That you all, if the district thinks you pay a fee that you and Lyft are subject to. We've made clear we will facilitate the payment of any fees, if there are taxes that need to be paid, that our software can already do that. It does do it in a much better way than Uber is doing it currently. We've made clear that we would facilitate the registration of every single driver with the district. We've made clear that if a driver was not registered with the district, provided they have a pathway to doing so, they wouldn't be able to use our software. Why isn't the district embracing this? Why doesn't the district want drivers to be able to work for themselves and to be able to compete with Uber and Lyft? And then why, if they're not going to pass this legislation, which is just common sense, there's nothing in it that anyone objects to. I really would love for some reporters to ask some of these politicians what specifically they don't like in the legislation that we. Why is it that they think that an electrician should be able to register to be an electrician and get a license wherever you get a license in DC? I'm sure there's some office somewhere, right? And then you can go provide your services, you can go work for yourself. But if you're a driver driving adults from point A to point B for money in the district, that's the only profession where you shouldn't be able to work for yourself. Why you should have to work for Uber, Lyft, me? I don't know. I mean, that's not what we do, right?
Josh is cool.
So I would really love it if we heard.
He's cool, right? I like Josh. He's cool.
From our elected officials as to why they think that drivers are second-class citizens. They shouldn't have the same rights as plumbers and lawyers, doctors, right? Nurses, barbers. You need a license to do many of these jobs, right? But you can go get one. Yeah. You can go work for yourself, and you can say, I want to charge $50 an hour for my plumbing services or my electrical services, or I want to charge $12 for a haircut and compete with some other salon. Why is it they think that drivers shouldn't have that same right? What is so special about this activity that they think that you all should be afraid of? To me, I don't know, personally, I'd be a lot more concerned about safety with respect to someone wiring my house than I would with respect to someone driving me from point A to point B. I mean, with all due respect to Jennifer's team, she made clear that she had concerns about there being, we need to make sure people are safe with respect to getting behind the car, a 5,000-pound automobile. I agree. That's why you have to have a driver's license.
And insurance.
Right? But the fact that you have someone sitting in the back of your car paying you doesn't somehow make you less safe as a driver, right? So again, I hear what you're saying. We don't disagree with any of that. We totally understand that there are regulations that need to be followed. We're in compliance, by the way, with every single substantive regulation that exists, right? I mean, the district used to like to pretend that we weren't. They're no longer even doing that, right? This isn't about, hey, power doesn't do background checks. Every single driver that has ever used the platform has always been subject to a background check.
I had two in less than a year. In less than a year.
Sorry. And so, again, you know, look, we're not trying to create some unregulated, activity here, right? And it would be nice if the district tried, or even at least pretended to try, that they wanted to work with us. I went to Jonathan Rogers, who's been in these hearings on Tuesday, and tried to sit down next to him. Before I could open my mouth, he told me, we're not talking. That was his response. Before I could even say a word, I went to him now, a little bit more welcoming, slightly. And made clear, look, we want to work with you. Right? What is the issue? Can we at least get our DDS application approved? Your own ALJ said that you unlawfully denied it. His response was, well, I'm sure we'll appeal that. And I said, why? Why? What part of the requirements for a digital dispatch service do you think that Empower is not in compliance with? Right? I mean, all I've heard from the attorneys is that we haven't paid a bunch of fines, which of course we contest and don't think we owe. But okay, but if you want us registered, why are you making our registration contingent on paying a bunch of fines? Why would you continue to have all of these folks continue to be able to use the service while we're not registered? We're trying to register. And you're blocking our registration effort.
that's right.
You've got your attorney up there saying that even if Empower did every single thing that's required under the statute, until they pay us $50 million, we're going to tell them to pound sand. But again, this is not an effort. I mean, I hope, that the district actually listens a little bit to the judge and takes her advice and tries to do what they can to either accept our registration applications or pass legislation that makes clear that drivers have a right to work for themselves. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what needs to happen, right? It's great that we'll get registered, right? And it's great they want us registered, whatever. But at the end of the day, that shouldn't be necessary, just to be clear. You all should be able to work for yourselves, work for whoever you want to work for, right? And provide your services at rates that you want to charge. I mean, it's that simple. Right? And if the district wants to regulate that activity, of course they can. Right? If they want to say, sorry, if you're an individual driver, you can only, we're going to cap how much you can charge. They can do that. Okay. I mean, I wouldn't be my law that I would suggest, but they can do that. They limit how much tax you have to charge, etc. But there's no reason why, you all shouldn't have the right to work for yourself. I have yet to hear a single person anywhere tell me why they think you shouldn't be able to work for yourself, or even that you shouldn't be able to work for yourself. Right? Again, why can an electrician go get a license to be an electrician, pay for their, charge what they want, comply with whatever regulations are needed, but you can't? I really would love to hear the answer to that question. I know what the answer to that question is. It's not a pretty answer, right? It's a pretty really disgusting answer, which is that Uber doesn't want you to do that, and they have tremendous political power, right? And they don't want competition. And if there were an electrical company like Uber, trust me, it'd probably be pretty tough for electricians to be able to work with them.
They operate illegally in other countries.
Right. Exactly.
Yep.
So again, anyway, I appreciate everyone coming out. We're going to reach out to the district. Mr. Rogers said, I wish he would act like Mr. Rogers. I understand he's frustrated that he has to be here. We don't want to be here either, right? We want to actually be working with the district to make it so that drivers can make more money and riders can get more affordable rides. Why would anybody not want that? Like, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I haven't gotten an answer to that, but there isn't an answer to that. And so, again, I'm hopeful that he will, take our call, meet with us. I'm hopeful that the mayor will sit down. I've been trying to get a meeting with the mayor for years, right? No, I'm sure she won't meet with me, right? I mean, she won't meet, because she doesn't, and I'll tell you why she won't meet with me. She won't meet with me because she doesn't have an answer to that question. She doesn't have an answer to why she thinks that drivers shouldn't be able to work for themselves, but every other service professional can, right? And she doesn't want to have that conversation, right? And so, again, thank you for everyone for coming. I appreciate it. And,
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Yes. Yes.
Bible, the mess of